Hey everyone, how's it going? So today I'm going to tell you how you can get a rough skin Gabite. The strategy is wait for POKEBANK. I mean, seriously, this isn't like with the Alolan Geodude where many were saying, oh, this is impossible. No, it's not impossible. It just takes so much of your time. There is no reason you should spend as much time as I did trying to get this thing. I mean, what I started doing was I would set up a substitute, use 3x defenses, and the reason I set up a substitute is because Sandile has Intimidate, Sandile uses Mud Slap, and Sandile uses Swagger. And behind a substitute, none of that works. So I would use the X defenses so that the substitute would last a long time because it just was efficient. And then, like always, KO the first 10 Pokemon. But the real problem with this whole thing is that Gabite never appears. I mean, the reason why I didn't catch one, and I'm sorry, I didn't end up catching one, was because that Gabite knows Takedown, which if you use False Swipe on it, it will faint itself, and I didn't know that the first time, which was actually like a month ago, or when the game first came out. I got one really early, and that was lucky. But this time around, I spent 5 hours, and when I finally got one, the Sandile used Swagger. And then, of course, the Gabite hit itself in confusion, and I was done. I was just done at that point. So what you can do is, for those Pokemon, you know, the one that sort of move around in the ground, you have a 10% chance of that one being Trapinch. Trapinch has some of its own annoying stuff, but it won't use Swagger, so that's an option. I think it might have Bulldoze, though, so that can just, it doesn't work either way. You don't want the Gabite to hurt itself. I mean, this strategy works. The, Garchomp, because it's ground, it won't be affected by Sandstorm. It knows False Swipe. Oh, yeah, so I don't have Roleplay, but it's really easy to check which Gabite is Rough Skin. So you want the False Swipe not to do so much damage because here's the thing. The way I set this up is I have so much defense on my substitute that even if the Gabite uses Takedown, it's only going to do like 1 HP in recoil. So I made sure my Garchomp didn't have enough attack to take it down to 1 HP. I got so unlucky that the Sandile used Swagger not on me, but on the Gabite, and then it hit itself in confusion. I just was not expecting that. And I'm not even going to show that off. I don't know. I spent so much time, and there's so many other videos after this one. I just, I have like 10 recordings of this. 5 hours, it's a long time. But that's pretty much all I have to say. I mean, if you use Dex Naving and Oris, this takes like 5 minutes. I really wanted to post a video because this is a strategy. It does work. You could put the Gabite to sleep. My Garchomp doesn't work like that. I'm sure I could just find another Pokemon. But, this already, I thought of this strategy for a while. Like, it worked so well. The encounters were going quickly. But the real thing is that Gabite never appears. Its encounter rate's like 10%. If its encounter rate was like 5%, not 5%, sorry, 50%, like Sableye, 5%. It is like 5%. I wouldn't be so frustrated because I could just do this again. Oh yeah, and by the way, you can only do this during the night or the morning. During the day, it's sunny and Gabite will never show up. But that's the real thing. Gabite never shows up. It has a chance of fainting when it does, and it's only a 15% chance when it shows up after 30 encounters that it'll actually have Rough Skin. To put my point maybe in a bit of a different way, here is what I found before my first Rough Skin Gabite. I mean, come on. I know it's lucky I got one, after 200 encounters. But, like, come on. The fact I got a shiny, and it did take a while. Like, I was like 4 hours in at this point. The fact that I got a shiny before I got the first Gabite is absurd. It's absurd. So, thanks for watching, I guess. I'm sorry I couldn't be more helpful. Truth is, I wanted to give a better strategy, but I just think this Pokemon is such a waste of your time because of its low encounter rate that you are just better off waiting for Oris to come out. I'm sorry. I really think that's true. I mean, if you want to spend, maybe it'll take you 15 minutes. My first time, that's all it took me. And that was like when the game first came out. But I sat down, prepared to look for the Gabite, and I got like maybe 10 Gabite encounters in like an hour or so. And that's just not enough. Like it takes way too long. So, I gave you the strategy. I'm sure some of you will have better luck than me, but I'm done. I'm not looking for another Gabite. I'm just going to wait for PokeBank. So thanks for watching. And coming up next is Sharpedo, which isn't quite as annoying.